Get your priorities straight.
Go to Din Tai Fung.
Hi, I'm Kim.
Hi, I'm Gerard.
Hi, I'm Cheryl.
Hi, I'm Leah, and this is
ZULA ChickChats.
So today we're going to be talking about first date expectations and whether these traditional expectations are still relevant. So for you guys, how many people have you dated before and how long usually does this dating period last?
In the past year, I've been on like 3 or 4 dates and I never go after the second date. I go on the first date and then that's just it. Like, I never call them back.
Wait.
I'm the one who ghosts on them in a way.
Second date.
Yeah.
No second date ever.
No. Maybe because I have an expectation of them.
Okay.
And after that, like, if you don't meet my expectations, I get bored of them and then I never reply.
Then you are great for this episode because it's first date only! Okay, for you, Gerard.
I had an ex-girlfriend which was
Okay.
quite a while, so it's like 6 years. Before that, I think I only dated like one other girl, and then after her, I think about 3 more. I'm also very picky like Kim. I don't really want to like get myself thrown into like the pit, and then I just go and swim around looking for girls kind of thing, you know?
I used to be on Tinder a lot. I really enjoy dating guys and I enjoy guys in general.
Hold up.
I've gone on so many dates that I pretty much lost count. I've gone on dates like Kim, just 1 year and not bye. But I've gone on a dates that, you know, maybe a couple of months after that dating period, I feel like we're not very compatible.
I went to all-girls school and I only started dating-ish after I broke up with my ex-boyfriend in university. I've only went on like 1 Tinder date.
Okay.
And it lasted about 3 months, and after that it's usually mutual friends and about like 2-3 months most of the time if it doesn't end up in a relationship. We all have expectations when it comes to dating. So for first dates, what are your personal expectations?
I expect not to be catfish. I went on this date with this guy and then he was quite cute on Tinder. When I entered the restaurant, I saw him, right, he was shorter than me. Like way shorter. Then he tried to hug me, you know, and I was like, this is not going to work. And like, I was like, okay.
I want to make sure that she is very open. She needs to know that I'm who I am when I'm dating someone. It's best that she become very honest with me. If she thinks that it's not going to work out, my expectation from her is to tell me that, you know, I don't want to date anymore.
I expect the guys to help me carry the conversation. Because, you know, if you go on a date with someone, you cannot sit there 3 hours and you're just like, oh, so how's school? And then they just like give you one-word answers and then you just like, oh. My other expectation is that I expect him not to get too gropey because that's really like gross.
Yeah, it's a bit pushing the limits also, especially for a first date. For me personally, I don't have a lot of expectations because I try to be open. Please put in effort to dress well. That is my minimum expectation, and in general I filter people out through how they dress already. If you come up to me and then you are wearing like some freaking slippers and you're in town or in like some fancy place, I will lose my mind now. Oh my god! We already discussed our expectations of a first date. Let's talk about now in 2017 whether, you know, certain traditional expectations of gender norms in dating are still relevant. First of all, it's you know, expectations of a person. If a guy pays for your meal, so do you agree that you want a guy to pay for a meal, or is it like, you know, different now?
I wrote an article about why like girls shouldn't expect guys to pay for the first date. Basically, like when I was 16, the first ever date I went on, I went in expecting the guy to pay for like everything. We were at the counter and then he paid his part of money. He was like, oh, what about you? Then I was like, aren't you gonna pay? And then he was like, no, you pay lah. Then I was so triggered. It's very assuming behavior basically. But like as soon when I grew up, I stopped like expecting guys to pay for me.
As much as possible, I try to go Dutch on first date. I don't want to feel like, you know, I owe him something or he can like lord it over me.
I mean, it's only fair that you're both going on a date together, right? Why should a guy be expected to pay for you? You eat the food and then someone pay for you. Allow your parents are.
It's like 2 people on a date. 2 people eat, so 2 people should pay.
Right.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I personally will
Yeah.
pay for the girl. If I ask you out for a date, right, it's something I should celebrate about because you actually went out with me. It's just like a thank you, like thank you for giving me a chance, kind of thing. Yeah.
Sweet. Will you send a girl home or like pick her up from her house or like wherever she is for the date?
I won't do it.
Okay.
Honestly, when I'm traveling, I like to reflect on things. If you're on a bus and you're listening to music, I think it's more comforting to be yourself.
There was this one guy who sent me home once on a date and I really insisted that I didn't want to be sent home, but he was like, no, I'm gonna send you home because it's like the gentleman thing to do. I stopped calling him back, I didn't text him. He came to my house and he waited underneath my condo because he knew where I lived, and I was just like, oh my god, please go away, like
That's
leave
really
me
scary.
alone. He stayed for like a few hours because I didn't want to reply him.
If your first date is example with someone you already knew beforehand,
Yeah, then
maybe
it's
it's a bit different. If it's a complete stranger, which nowadays is most of the case, right?
Yeah.
It's very hard to say,
Yeah.
like, you know, send me home to my doorstep. Maybe you send me to like the MRT station.
Yeah,
We made a difference. if the guy was driving?
I would think yes You know why? Because you want convenience. I'm not even
I drive you home,
gonna lie.
eh?
If someone doesn't drive you home, I'll be like, sure. But like drop me at like the bus stop.
Yeah, yeah.
And the last one would be about, you know, dressing up for a date. Like what are your expectations about it?
I think he doesn't need to be super fancy because he cannot keep that up. I don't want to be like me on the first day and be like, oh yeah, this guy is quite cute. Then until like 3 or 4 days I'm like, he's not cute anymore. I mean, I'm not that superficial. No, that's a lie. I am superficial.
I just think shower, wear deodorant, don't wear slippers.
Basic like cleanliness.
Yeah,
keep that in check.
Just like don't smell weird, you know. I think a good dress code is like smart casual. Just wear like a comfortable pair of jeans and maybe
a shirt.
Yeah, maybe a short sleeve button up or like even something like this.
It's best that she dress up as who she is. I'm dating you because of yourself. I don't like it when people tell me like, hey, I think you should wear jeans.
Oh my god!
You don't change just to fit into someone's shoes, right?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Now we move on to expectations of the date itself. Okay, I would say maybe the traditional expectation of a date is that you go for a movie, you go for dinner. Do you still agree that we should all do this, or you know, maybe something different?
I suppose when I was younger, I thought the movie date was a good idea. You could go to the movie and then
Then you just like,
I mean,
no, don't lie.
no, it's the popcorn. I was like, oh my god. As I sort of like grow older, I realized that the whole movie date thing is quite boring. I mean, you know what happened in the film, but you don't know much about the person.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'm a bit intimidated when the first date goes on too long. But see, if you don't really like the person,
yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
you stretch it out, and then you can't like escape. I always like prefer a coffee date. You start off at like 4, 5, and then you're coffee for an hour, and then you know if it goes well, maybe that could progress to
Oh yeah.
It
Must
kind of
take
gives you
notes,
that transition to like kind of like either say okay bye, it was great, nice to meet you, or like oh you know hey let's go for dinner. Are you hungry? I'm hungry.
First date, dinner will be best. At most, maybe if she's like down for drinks, then go to a bar for drinks. I think the first date best is to get to know her the most.
I agree.
Get to know her, get to know what she does, maybe get to know more about her family, what kind of person she is. Kind of bring her like to more like places that you can talk lah. Don't like bring her to club then you're like
Hey, what you like?
so nice What's it?
I think the reason why there's this like traditional movie dinner kind of like expectation of a date, right, is because I think people are very scared of doing something adventurous. If someone tell me to go like, oh let's go like rock climbing or something, I'm just like, oh my god, I'm glam. Then like,
sweaty.
I mean, you want to impress the person.
yeah, I think something that would be safe would be like museum kind of thing. That's why a lot of people like to see exhibitions and stuff like that. It's because like at least it's something that they can learn together and experience something new together. A lot of people say that oh you cannot like kiss her on the first date or you cannot hold her hand. What do you think about that? What are your boundaries?
I've never kissed a girl on the first date, but like I think I just don't feel comfortable doing it on the first date lah. I just want to get to know you fully, not physically. Yeah, I just want to know you personally first.
I was on a date with this guy at Starbucks. He basically spent like a good 90% of the day trying to get me to come closer to him, sit on his lap. He literally just asked me that can you come sit on my lap? Yeah, like literally like no. I just feel it's very disrespectful. Before you try anything, she's already kind of like leaning towards, away from you, and she doesn't even try to maintain eye contact. You kind of should know it's a no from her. It's a no.
Wait, what's the signs you would give if it's a yes?
First, I'll be like leaning more towards you, and I would like you know like ha, like
Then you
casual.
touch.
Like a girl like.
Just like ah. Even if she doesn't know what she's doing, it's like kind of subconscious body behavior.
It's like that when you walk damn close together, then the hand is like
Yeah, it's like
If
she's doing that already,
if the girl brings up sex in your conversation, what should you do or like what do you think your reaction would be?
By talking about these type of like intimate things, it shows that you're actually being very open about where we stand. If you were to date someone, right, you're supposed to be closer to that person compared to other people, right?
Yeah.
So that other people do not know about your life, about your so-called sex.
I don't think I would lah. If it comes up, then I can kind of tell where this date is going.
Yeah.
And like what his intentions are.
There's so much more to talk about besides sex in the world in general.
You have freaking like 20 plus years of your life
Yeah.
to talk about. Some people bring up their exes and like they talk about it. Do you think it's okay?
Right, in like the dating
Yes, exactly, the expectation.
They always say that you shouldn't talk about your exes, but I feel like on all the dates I've been on, sometimes it just naturally comes out.
You cannot be caught up in it
Yeah.
and then end up like talking about it. That kind of, because then why are you on a date?
To talk about the mistake that happened, I think it's more important. Not like talk about why you dated her, like because
the
she's
person
cute lah,
itself,
she's damn pretty, you know what I mean?
So any advice for people who are going on first dates?
When you date someone, you should always give your 100%. Make sure that you don't have a thought of like ending this. That's why I'm just dating you just for a period. Show the real side of you. You all must know that in a relationship, it's like you are a person, she's a person. You all guys must accommodate and adapt. Yeah, that's all.
He's single, everybody!
They offer, you know, like the inside advice. I'm just gonna offer like damn superficial ones. Shower, smell nice, and before you date, poop. Then your date, right? You know, when you're nervous.
Yeah, when you're nervous,
Yeah, when you're nervous, it actually kind of encourages the system to go down.
Don't expect them to be something that they're not.
Yeah.
So you cannot place these expectations on the other party without even getting to know them first.
So today we were talking about expectations on dates. We all agreed that every date has different expectations. So all you have to do is be open-minded and
Enjoy!
have fun, enjoy!
So if you guys have any first date stories or any expectations you have, you can feel free to leave in the comments and let us know what else you want us to talk about next time.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Bye!